Obsession is a psychological state in which a person, idea, desire, fear, memory, or goal occupies an unusually large amount of mental space and becomes difficult to disengage from. Ordinary interest allows attention to move freely, but obsession creates psychological fixation. The mind repeatedly returns to the same subject even when the person consciously wants to think about something else. A person may constantly analyze another person's behavior, replay past events, imagine future possibilities, seek reassurance, monitor information, or construct elaborate scenarios around something that has become emotionally important. The intensity of obsession often comes from uncertainty. When something feels unresolved, unpredictable, or emotionally significant, the mind keeps returning to it in an attempt to reach certainty. This creates the illusion that enough thinking will eventually produce complete understanding or control. But repeated analysis rarely satisfies the underlying need because the problem is emotional rather than purely intellectual. Obsession can also develop around desire. Something becomes psychologically associated with fulfillment, identity, safety, recognition, or escape, causing the mind to exaggerate its importance. The person may begin believing that obtaining a particular relationship, achievement, answer, or outcome will finally make them feel complete. The object of obsession then becomes more than an object. It becomes a symbol of something deeply desired or deeply feared. The deeper psychology of obsession involves attention, attachment, uncertainty, and control. The mind tends to give greater importance to what remains emotionally unresolved. This is why unfinished relationships, ambiguous interactions, unanswered questions, and uncertain outcomes can become more mentally consuming than situations that have clear conclusions. Obsession can provide a temporary sense of control because constant thinking feels like active problem solving. The person may believe that analyzing every detail will prevent disappointment, reveal hidden meaning, or produce certainty. Yet the continuous mental focus can strengthen the emotional attachment itself. The more attention something receives, the more psychologically important it becomes. This can create a self-reinforcing cycle in which thinking produces anxiety. Anxiety produces more thinking, and more thinking increases the perceived importance of the subject. Obsession can also distort perception. The mind begins selectively noticing information that confirms the fixation while ignoring evidence that challenges it. A person may idealize someone they barely know, exaggerate the significance of small interactions, or interpret ordinary events as meaningful because the mind has already assigned them extraordinary importance. Breaking this cycle requires learning to tolerate uncertainty and allowing thoughts to exist without automatically following them. It means recognizing that a thought can be intense without being important, and that emotional urgency does not always represent objective necessity. Healthy attachment allows space, independence, and flexibility. Obsession gradually removes those qualities. When fixation begins interfering with relationships, sleep, work, daily functioning, or emotional stability, professional support can help uncover the underlying patterns. The deepest freedom comes when attention becomes voluntary again. You can care deeply without constantly monitoring. You can desire something without making it the center of your identity. You can remember someone without mentally living inside their existence. Obsession loses its power when the mind discovers that certainty is not always necessary for peace, and that letting go of constant mental control does not mean giving up what matters. Sometimes, the thing we cannot stop thinking about is not the thing we truly need. It is the emotional question hidden behind it that needs to be understood.